thank you, Vinay, and the whole management team, and you guys to give me this opportunity to come here to share a bit of time and space dimension together. Before I start bothering you with my little nut, I just want to set the context of all this work that we're doing together, and it's a very important one. We are at a very interesting moment in time, almost at a kind of turn in the way that people are running business around the world. So the digital aspect is taking over a lot of the processes. And this has become a huge opportunity for the developing countries entrepreneurs to leap forward. So things that we could not do in the model of traditional supply chain and production management with heavy infrastructure, we can do it today. So internet reaches the furthest part of the country with 3G and 4G without even having cables. Manufacturers, they don't need super big factories and investing millions. We are in this age where little guys can do a lot with little things. And that's what we're going to do with Webpool. With a small investment from you guys, a small investment from our entrepreneurs and ourselves, we can leverage technology and just blast them, just like your logo, the launchpad, and put them into orbit. So that's the environment where we are, and that's also a little bit the title or responsibility that I carry at IDC within the UN system. I try to use and show how technology can make any kind of business run better, save costs, or reach more customers. Now, everything that we do within our agency and our partners, including you, is basically fitting in this one slide. This one slide is like a map between the producer and the consumer. So on the very left hand, you have whoever is producing the added value. It can be a service, it can be a software, it can be a mobile app, or it can be a physical product like olive oil, spices, tea, coffee, anything. So that person who produces the value is actually the one that deserves most of the income, right? Because we spend a year developing an app, we spend a year farming the land. We're supposed to own that value. Unfortunately, the current situation is the other way around. It's the one who produces who gets the minimal added value back to their country. So what we're trying to do is to capture more of that value that is created by the people who do the real work. How do we do that? So if we want to have an impactful channel. That's why we use technology at different points that are separating the producer or the seller and the buyer. So we want to bring them closer together. We want to close that gap. We want to make that window of time and space smaller or cheaper, faster, and that's where technology comes in. And I will show you all along the way between the seller or the producer and the customer where Webpool or your softwares are coming into places and are making a difference for our entrepreneurs. So the first thing is about capturing the content and also knowing what we can sell and where. And that's why we use Webpool as a local marketplace to pull in the products. So photos, description, titles, then we work hard on the pricing, the taxes, so we do all this configuration with the marketplace module. And each seller is giving a small store, so he can interact with his own store at no cost. So everything that we do together, we bring it free of charge to our entrepreneurs. So once we do that point one, which is selecting which product we're going to sell where, so there again, it comes with the whole configuration aspects of Odoo or Magento with the VAT and shipping costs and currencies and multi-language, so that we can have a version for each target market. The US market will have US dollar and English as a default currency and language, and then for France and Germany, we will use German for Germany, French for France, and Euro as a currency. So all this stuff is allowed by the technical setup. So point two, preparing content is actually very critical. Like Google guys say, they say content is king. Now the unfortunate situation is that small entrepreneurs around the world, they don't even own their content. They're so busy making whatever they do that often they're not writing marketing description of their product. They don't even do the photos. So who does it is an intermediary or a second intermediary, a third intermediary, and because they create that content, they own it, and then they own the customer relationship. So you see, just by content, our entrepreneurs are not realizing the loss that they are making. So having Webpool Marketplace allows us to give them an opportunity to keep the ownership of their own content. So when we go into a country, for example, Made in Senegal, we're doing Made in Senegal using Webpool Marketplace module and Odoo. So this way, the photos, the descriptions, the titles, and even the customer information, when they buy, they own that data, which so far, they were disconnected from that market, they were disconnected from their content. And even worse, sometimes they try to go directly into Amazon or eBay or Etsy or whatever, and then they get blacklisted. So their future in e-commerce is kind of sacrificed because they have no way to prepare and a backup before going into any of these big e-commerce giants. And the big e-commerce giants are very harsh with smaller and medium enterprises. They basically expect the same level of performance than a multinational in terms of shipping and return management, but the SMEs, they have solid needs. So we have this issue for our small entrepreneurs. So this is one very important aspect, probably the most important in all our endeavors, is how can we, one, capture the content from our enterprises, put it online, but in a place that they can own that database, that they can own those images, that they can own those customer information. So that's the marketplace module. And then once we have that, we can translate, we can adapt, we can configure. So that is the masterpiece of almost all our work. And also having our own marketplace and developing different customizations that we are requiring along the way. I'm giving a lot of headache to Vinay and Vipin, but really I think it will be worth it, because what we want to break away from is how can we stop selling commodities, because they will always drive our prices to the bottom. But instead of selling a commodity or a product, we want to sell a story. Because if we sell a story, the added value is recognized. The dignity of the person is recognized. His environment, his culture, whatever his history is shared and is valued. And it's actually responding to consumer demand. If you look at today with the social media, the buyers and the users, they want to be connected to Facebook, to LinkedIn, to the producer. So, for example, I buy something on Amazon, or if I buy something on another marketplace, I would love to add that producer into my Facebook network, because when I go to my friends, I say, this coffee is from Rwanda, and this lady, she's my friend on Facebook. You know, I'm connected to this producer. This is a chance that we have. I tried to give it a name, and we tried to give it a name, and we called it the human resonance. So where you can leverage the human relationship to create the buzz on the social media and the networks. So here, the guiding principle is that all our content that we want to deliver should be human to human. So that's the H to H. It's a human that produces the value. It's also a human that consumes that value. Even for a software, when we do a software or an app, it's not going to be used by a robot or an algorithm. At the end, it's a user that will interact and consume that value. So this we teach and we train our enterprises to tell their stories we use virtual reality. So we go on the ground and we record in 360 degrees the environment of our entrepreneurs. So we show how the coffee is taken from the tree, washed, carried, so much work. So we don't want a buyer to tell us $2 a kilo, because there's so much work that is put into that product and they don't realize. So this is how we can vehicle, how we can transport the customers into the life of the seller, and we transport the product and the offering of the producer to the customer. And of course, one place and one advantage that we're using is that we want to have all this content concentrated into a Webpool marketplace solution that is owned by the country, that is owned by the entrepreneurs. And then we can spend a lot of time enhancing that content, translating, increasing the search engine optimization, SEO thing on our own content, so that they can leverage kind of virtually free marketing. So all this we do it thanks to Webpool. So it's a big saving on marketing, it's a big saving on mistakes, because when they do a mistake on our marketplace, they are not blacklisted forever. So we correct it. Be careful. If you say you ship in 2 days, please ship in 2 days. So you will not be penalized, but you have to perform. This photo is not good. Here is how we can increase it. So all this we do it through Webflow Marketplace. And then with all the connectors that probably many of you are working on, we can then, once we reach that quality of content on our Webflow Marketplace, we can just blast our catalog and offering wherever we want. So there's already Etsy, I think Amazon and eBay as connector. We are requesting Tmall to sell to the Chinese market, and hopefully some other marketplaces will come along the way. So here again, you see that technically Webflow Marketplace is helping us. Another part that is very difficult for entrepreneurs around the world is to actually classify their products and even understand the concept of SKU, stock keeping unit. They don't have that in their mind. We know it because we see it in our databases when we deal with the orders, but they don't know what is SKU. So we help them to understand what is SKU. We help them to go down to each option, each configuration of the product, so that there is no mismatch when it comes to handling that product or that unique reference. So here again, we're using Auto Marketplace so that each one of them, we help them to generate a label with a barcode, an SKU, so that they can actually join the whole supply chain of logistics. So that when their products are coming into an e-fulfillment center in the UK, which is what we have done 2 months ago, the people in the UK, they can scan it and it's compatible with their systems. So here, we link the entrepreneurs with all the providers of the chain thanks to these kind of functionalities that we have. And here also we have to leverage the technology and accessing international partnerships for delivering whatever order it is to be delivered. And this is a killing issue for SMEs. Sometimes they have a product that they want to sell at $40, but the shipping costs $75. I'm talking of B2C and cross-border. That's where it's very expensive. So here we are leveraging different ways. Is that thanks to Auto Marketplace, we can plug into e-fulfillment centers, so that when an order on Webflow Marketplace is paid for, we already have the products shipped to the UK. Right now we have about 4 pallets of different products from 30 sellers in the UK. So instead of shipping from Senegal, from Rwanda, which is very expensive, we move the goods by pallets. So the cost per kilogram is very low, like $2 or $3 per kilo. And then we use actually the UK post to ship the next day or within 48 hours, and they become competitive. So here, the marketplace will take the payment, confirm the payment, then with the API send the order to be fulfilled by the UK provider, so they can do the pick and pack and ship. Everybody's happy. The customer receives the good fast. They receive a notification with a tracking number. They can follow their delivery, and this opens the access to the retail level. I mean, the producer in Africa or Asia can reach up to the B2C level, and that's where they can make some money. Because when they sell at B2B prices, the margin is very small. Thank you for the opportunity to be here with you, and thank you again.